All right, very exciting for so many reasons. We are here with the lovely, the talented, the returned Alyssa Farah Griffin. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hello, Brian.
And we're here in a brand new studio.
I'm obsessed. It looks so cool. Like, I feel like I'm on a really fancy TV show or like Call Her Daddy or something.
Exactly. I think it was the Webby Award nomination, and there's still time to vote.
Yes.
But I think that once we got that, I said, you know what, we need a new studio.
And it feels more conversational.
Yeah, this is going to be great. We're so excited to have you back.
Thank you.
How was your first day back at the table?
It was good. It was exciting to be back. I actually felt ready, which I wasn't sure if I would, but it's like riding a bike. As soon as I got to the table, I'm like, we got this. And I have to say, because I was texting you a lot during the break, I love and appreciate the show more watching it from home than being at the table, which might sound crazy.
It's a different show from home.
It's a total different show from home. Because sometimes at the table, I'll get frustrated with like my performance or like, did that point make sense? Did that, like, is the audience following what we're talking about? You watch from home, I'm like, everyone looks gorgeous. They sound eloquent. And you could flip through all the channels and no one's doing what we're doing. No one's having the conversations we are. You don't have 5 women there talking about what we are. And so I just like, hats off. It gave me a way bigger appreciation for what we do every day.
Well, we definitely missed you a lot, and we're so glad to have you back. We had interesting people filling in, and I want to talk to you about that too at some point. But first of all, I've gotten a lot of comments already, like everyone's excited to have you back, but people are like, it's so fast. Does it feel fast to you? Because this was your call. I want to be clear about that.
It was. Yeah. What I think folks will... To me, it ended up feeling perfect. And to give you credit, you told me I could take a little bit more if I needed to. Like, that was always an option. For me, because our show, the timing that it tapes, I'm able to leave mid-afternoon and be home to my baby. If this was a more corporate,
9 to 5
kind of thing, I think it would have been different. But to me, I'm like, I get to go home, feed him, spend the day with him. But also what was funny, this morning I woke up, actually it was last night, I started thinking, I'm like, I'm so ready to get back and to get into routine and have structure. I need that. But what I miss is I'm like, 2 months means that he's not a newborn anymore.
No.
It's more the passage of time with him that like I'm feeling my heartstrings pulling than anything else.
That only gets worse, believe me.
It flies.
Yeah.
Like each version of your child is just on loan to you because they're constantly growing and becoming a new version of themselves. And it's like...
It's definitely true. And maybe it's different because there are people that love the little baby phase the most. For me, the more I can interact with them, the more they can do stuff and talk to me and have fun. I honestly, and my girls are 14 and 11, and I've enjoyed each subsequent phase more and more.
That's what everyone says. I'm just like, he's this little guy, and every day he's more expressive. He's smiling back at me. He's responding to me. He's only done little glimpses of a laugh. I haven't had a full-on giggle, but it's the most like... Give me any view in the world, the Mediterranean, anywhere, I would choose my son's smiling face over it any day of the week. There's literally nothing like it. It's the most magical thing I've ever experienced.
All right, so your son, we're talking about, is Justin, which is very exciting,
Justin
the name.
Jr., yes.
So that's what I want to know. Is it Justin Jr.? Is it JJ? Is it JR? What is it?
So the truth is I didn't think it through. So it's Justin. He's Justin Patrick Griffin Jr., so named fully after my husband. And it was not the name I originally planned to go with, but I talked to you a little bit. I had a somewhat traumatic birth experience. I'm now realizing a lot of women do.
Yeah.
In fact, more than probably most of my friends have something that was scary, went wrong and all that. And with him, it was, I had to be induced. I started having an issue that's hard to explain, but he came a few days early. Everyone gets really sick during induction, but 8 hours of just vomiting while trying to like get your contractions to happen. But once he was born, my placenta got stuck. So I started to hemorrhage. And it's in that moment where, 4 hours of active labor and you finally are holding your child, the most magical thing I'll ever experience. Nothing will ever compare to that moment of, oh my gosh, as a first-time parent, holding him on our chest and just inhaling him.
Especially how hard, you guys went through so much to have him.
So much in the years of IVF. But then because I started to bleed, they had to, take him away with Justin and get me in the OR. But in that moment when they handed him to me, I looked at my husband and I was like, everything kind of flashed before my eyes. The 2 years of IVF, the money, the toll on my body, the hormones, the screaming at my husband, you get a different version of your spouse when they're going through all of that. And him being by my side. And then what was like a really scary final stretch of labor, him there, I was like, this is Justin. This is somebody who is I can only hope is going to be a kind, decent, humble, amazing man like my husband, and it just fits.
What an honor. That's
and I just love him, and he is such a Justy. He looks like his dad too. So
I've noticed that actually in the pictures I've seen. So
the family says JJ. I haven't. That wasn't my plan, but I think it's like if he plays baseball like Justin, JJ is so cute.
Very, very cool. JJ is a cool name to have. Yeah. I do think you need to take control of it, though. Like, don't allow the family to dictate what it is. I think you have to say, this is what I want.
Yeah, I think so. Because the only one I'm not, like, wild about is Junior, because it's vague. It can be Junior or anything, whereas JJ is Justin Jr. That's fun as a nickname.
I like Junior Soprano, but other than that, it's
true, actually.
Yeah, Uncle
You're right.
June.
The mom gets to decide.
And you need to make that decision fast, because if you don't, it's going to take a life of its own. I'm just saying.
Oh, the one other thing, which my best friend said to me, and Sarah also said to me, is, once you give birth and you look at the baby, you're like, oh, it was you in there the whole time. That's the most wild thing is I'm like, every kick, every little thing.
You're putting a face to the name, kind of.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's crazy.
Putting a face to the name. I was like, that was you.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
Any sleeping or kind of?
Really, really, we're incredibly blessed. Listen, I'm in a position that a lot of people aren't in where we have
help.
We have help. We have an incredible nanny, Maria, and then we are doing a short term with a night nurse who's the most incredible woman on the planet. Teresa, she's Trinidadian. She's taught me everything I know about parenting and also has like just enough of those like old world things. Like she put olive oil on my baby's head to clear up congestion. Don't know why, but it worked, so I'm going with it. So that's helped. She's helping train him to sleep, and that we saw as an investment in his future if she can really get him on a good path. I've had sleep issues my whole life, and I'm like, that's a gift I want to give him and myself.
Yes.
But it's going really well.
My dad may or may not have put scotch on the gums of my baby.
I know. We were, I've heard.
He said he did. My wife got really upset, and then he said he was kidding.
Right.
Not sure. Yeah,
right.
I don't think we'll ever know for sure.
Correct.
But it worked. Either way. All right, so what's the biggest surprise?
Like, it's funny little things. A biggest surprise is how little I know. I consider myself a high-functioning, relatively educated person. I read all the baby books, but there's something about studying for it before, and then you have this living, breathing human.
It goes out the window.
It goes out the window, and the brain fog is also very real. But I'm like, oh my gosh, what do we do with this? But what I love is like they're actually largely rational creatures. Like they're hungry, they're sleepy, they need to be burped, they might have a dirty diaper. Like they tell you what they need, and I'm starting to like pick up on like that's the hungry cry, that's the sleepy cry. But they won't be rational forever though.
How's your swaddling game?
Justin was the swaddler.
Okay.
The swaddler in chief, as we call him. He's also the burper in chief.
Sure.
He's much better at it. But I just love him so much.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
I'm going to bring him in one day at some point because you all have to meet him. But like, I could just inhale him. Like it just, the smell, his little hands, like you've never loved something as much as you love your child.
I'll take your kid to work days in a couple of weeks, so let's see what we can come up with. All right, so you missed a lot of news while you were gone, and I heard from you about that too. You really were
baby's first war.
You were watching a lot of The View and texting me, which I appreciate.
Well, I should mention my night nurse has been watching since the very first episode. Ooh. So any day that I would miss it, she'd be like, "No, come on, Alyssa, we're watching The View."
I love it. All right, ask her who's on her Mount Rushmore.
Right.
All right, so but I want to get your take on the war because. This is kind of your expertise a little bit here on what's happening in Iran. So what were your initial feelings about it when it all started, and how do you think it's going?
That's a good framing of it because I have the benefit of being, now a couple months into this, we're, weeks into the conflict. Listen, I celebrate that the Ayatollah is dead. He deserved to be taken out the way that he was. I support the U.S. Taking out the nuclear sites if, in fact, they have successfully been taken out. I praised the attack on Fordo the summer prior, where we allegedly took out all of the nuclear sites and there was nothing to go back and to see. But this might sound crazy. The easy part of war is killing the bad guys. It's what happens next that is the hard part. So having worked at the Department of Defense, and this isn't anything I'm not supposed to say, I can tell you the U.S. has plans to take out any bad guy in the world. We could take out Putin, and in fact would not be that difficult. We could have taken out Maduro before we did. Name anyone on the planet. But the question becomes, what are, we would call them, the second and third order effects of that? What does it lead to? So who replaces them? Is there a natural uprising with the people? Is it somebody who's just as bad, if not worse? And what I'm seeing now is, to the best of what we know, is that the son of the Ayatollah is just as radicalized as he is no different as a leader, and in fact now has a mission of vengeance and martyrdom because of his father. And what we know is there are millions of Iranians who want regime change and who want something different. But I don't have confidence, and I've not heard it articulated by our government, that we have a plan to help them and to harness that energy and to have free and fair elections and help them overthrow their government. There's obviously media blackouts. We don't know a lot about what's happening on the ground. But what scares me is if you replace one bad guy with another, and you also sparked this feeling of vengeance from a radical regime, they will at some point respond to us. It's not a matter of if but when that they will retaliate against the United States. So my fear is mostly what people aren't talking about, which it may not be when Trump's in office. It might be 10 years from now, 9/11, different actors, but that took 20 years to plan. The radical affiliates of the Iranian regime will respond at some point, and they will declare vengeance for the Ayatollah. And I hope that we're prepared for that. I hope our FBI is prepared for sleeper cells in this country. I hope our military bases all in the region are hardened. I hope they have the anti-missile defense systems that they need. And I'm not confident that groundwork was done. And then the second thing I would say on that is, not to get overly technical, but I've had a lot of time to think on this, is closing the Strait of Hormuz was the most obvious response, immediate response from the Iranians.
That they did not seem particularly prepared for.
Yeah, I was at the Pentagon when we did the Soleimani strike. I was read into it in advance of it. I dealt with the aftermath. The Iranians are the Iranian regime, not the people of Iran. They're radicals, but they're predictable in certain things. They will definitely retaliate, and they will use economic leverage when they can, which always comes in the form of oil. It was anyone, and I actually, now it's been reported in the New York Times that I think Rubio warned about the Strait. Like, that was the most foreseeable action that they could take, is to hurt global commerce. And it's smart because it makes the rest of the world suddenly feel sort of sucked into a conflict that's really just the U.S., Israel, and Iran. Right. Everyone's economy is impacted by it. So what I'd say is this. While I celebrate the fact that the Ayatollah is gone, I have a lot of friends in the Iranian diaspora community here in the United States who are celebrating that he's gone. What happens next matters just as much. And I don't have a lot of confidence. On
the political side, what do you think the impact is going to be now for the midterms, for Trump support in general? It doesn't seem to be a very popular war.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's, do you think that's going to matter?
I think it will.
Or is it just the economic part of it that's going to matter?
I think it matters if we're still in a conflict the way we are in earnest, even in June, July of this year, when people are traveling, when people are getting on planes and cars to go on vacation and gas is $5, $6, that absolutely will have an impact. If we have U.S. service members being killed in this conflict, that will absolutely matter. I mean, people who voted for Trump voted against forever wars. They voted against engagement in the Middle East. Like, I'm actually way more hawkish than most of the MAGA base. Mm-hmm. I think that people feel really duped by him, whether it's Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens.
What do you make of this, which is basically a MAGA civil war that's kind of broken out in this? I mean, to your point, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, I mean, not quite the same thing, but right. Joe Rogan and people like that. A lot of people that had unbridled support for President Trump have turned.
Yeah, and
Megyn Kelly.
They believed him when they said none of these forever wars. But I think what they didn't know about Trump is, my theory on this is, he believes that his domestic legacy is always going to be conflicted. That, like, whatever the history books write about him in America, it's probably going to be negative. I think he has enough self-awareness to realize that. I think that he thinks if he has these big moves on the global stage, history can't forget him. It's why he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. It's why he took out Maduro. It's why he wanted to take out the Ayatollah. Something is motivating him to be, honestly, like, this is a person who's more expeditionary than, like, George Bush was. Like, he's making, like, John Bolton blush right now with his actions. I really think for him it's about legacy, and he's forgetting about his base and what got him elected.
I guess he doesn't have to run again, so there is that.
Yeah, but if you're Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance and you want to run, and you're both becoming faces of this war that is historically unpopular, that's tough.
It really is. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Mm-hmm. All right. I know We got to switch to pop culture here for a second because
Good.
I know that it was killing you not to be able to talk about the Summer House scandal.
Right. Well,
and we missed you.
There were a few things.
Yeah.
You booked Ryan Gosling when I was gone. How did that get past my radar?
Listen,
my forever crush. Remember the Titans?
I understand. But, we have to make decisions. And, he had a movie.
I know, which is actually a great movie. But that I was sad about. I was sad about the Timothée Chalamet dialogue over like the opera and the ballet. Only because I'm the biggest Timothée Chalamet fan, and I think I knew what he was saying.
Oh, you're a Timothée Chalamet defender.
I was prepared to defend him. I did not agree with how he said it.
Yes.
I kind of think he was like, if my husband were an actor, I feel like he would say something like that, not meaning to knock those arts, but trying to be like, no, trust me, this is accessible for like jocks and people who are different. But if you love acting, you could get into it. Like, I think he meant well, but didn't realize he criticized two beloved mediums that are like essential to the arts.
As the winner of the View Oscar pool, I did
Did
actually.
you called Michael B. Jordan?
No, I didn't. I went with Timothée Chalamet, but I still won the whole thing. But yeah,
honestly, if not for that flub, it might have been.
It might have been.
I was glad it was Michael B. Jordan because I love
Jordan.
I love him. I loved Sinners, the whole thing. But Summer House was the other one. This is like the second biggest Bravo scandal since Scandival. I won't give you the full debrief. I know you guys did it on Weekend View, but like everyone's obsessed with this. My friend group in DC tangentially knows a lot of the actual people on the show. So that makes it even juicier because it's just like a lot of us like kind of partied with some of them like a decade ago, and the fact that they're still going at this level.
Were you involved with this?
I've met Kyle.
Okay.
Not me. My best friend. Not my best friend Alex. My best friend in most of my 20s, Ava, is very friendly with a lot of the actors in it. But I'm like, or actors, not actors.
Yes.
But to us, I'm like, these guys are 10 years older than we were then, and they're still raging at that level. That's what's most impressive to me.
The stamina involved?
Yeah, how do you just day drink all day? But no, so here's what's interesting. So Amanda and Kyle, two of the stars and like anchors of the show, they've been on for a long time. They announced their separation, and literally within 2 months, it comes out that she is dating another house member, Wes Wilson, who for basically 2 years has been on and off with her best friend, Sierra. It's the wildest part is the idea of like putting out a statement to announce your divorce and 2 months later putting out a joint statement with a new boyfriend being like, we would like our privacy as we navigate this. I'm like, only 2 months passed.
No, that's
like
not
you don't
enough.
get to do a joint statement if you've only been together for 2 months, which raises the question of how long this was going on. And like those of us who follow this world closely, I suspect this was going on way longer than people realize.
See, we missed you for this. We needed flashcards, literally.
Yes, you do. It's wild. Sierra is probably the most beloved character on the show. And she was the one who people actually feel worse for her than the husband who's kind of getting, because he was a jerk to her. He was horrible to his wife, but he did take ownership. But Sierra's like the most roots for her friend. She was supporting Amanda through her divorce. And the whole time she's like, kind of seems like she was hooking up with her guy. So
right, that's not good.
Not good.
That's not good.
But the rumor, check this legal if it's actually true. The rumor now, Rihanna is a diehard Bravo fan.
Yes.
And allegedly, she reached out to Sierra to set her up with an A-list Hollywood actor who recently won a major award. I'm calling Michael B. Jordan.
I was going to say.
And you win. Like, you win if you're now dating Michael B. Jordan.
Wow. All right. So obviously we don't know that for a fact.
We don't know. It's just a blind item
rumor.
Who knows?
But interesting. All right. Well, Michael B. comes on the show from time to time.
Yes,
Maybe
I will interrogate.
And we have Lisa Vanderpump later this week. So we have
excited.
Some Bravo. That was how I lured you back early.
Yes, my beauty goals.
Yes. So that'll be great. Well, we're so happy to have you. So I was going to ask you, because it must have been a little weird to see people sitting in your seat for all that time. Any takeaways from your fill-in guests?
It was fun to watch. Okay, the first day I was like, oh, this feels uncomfortable. There was something about someone being in my seat, and it was Savannah. It was not personal to her. It's that weird, like, wait, why are you sitting there? That's my chair. But then it got kind of fun to watch, like just to see how different people use the chair and use that experience.
Yeah.
I loved all the. I was texting with Abby before and after because we're friends, and I thought she was like, it was. I like seeing people who were former hosts come back. I think it's fun.
I like that too.
I think for the audience too, there's like a nostalgia of it. So her and Elizabeth, it was fun. It was just like, I don't know, as a viewer, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. I was curious what it was like because, like, if I saw someone...
There was like one day that I was like, interesting, but then I kind of moved on from it.
All right, interesting. Well, people can take from that what they like.
Don't get too comfortable.
No, if I was looking and I saw people at my podium yelling at Whoopi to go to commercial, I'd be very bent out of shape. But we're happy to have you back, like I said, and we appreciate everybody that was here. All right, so before we go, I'm going to have to just talk about this Webby Award thing, which is, as you know, very important to me.
Vote for us.
We only have a couple more days left. We're doing well, but if you have not voted, we have until Thursday, I think. So please sign up. The episode description will have all the information you need to vote for us. It's for best news and political podcast episode. As Joy will tell you, it's a Joy episode that got nominated, but that's fine. It's for all of us. For all of us.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's great. So please check it out because otherwise I'm probably going to cry. And you don't want to see that in the new studio. All right. So find a link to vote in our episode description. Thank you for being here, Alyssa.
Thank you.
And let us know what you think of the new studio. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.